Real talk, the metaphor messiah, man. I got this one. Let's go. You ever seen the morning star? Mr. Metaphor Messiah, back to show you who we are. I represent a legacy, a pothead like the 70s, a different kind of mind. They say we only speak in melodies. Legend in the game, I think I found a solution. Got a crazy kind of flow, I need a verbal institution.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dead on Dave. And 2016 is over. It's done. It's kaput. It's in the rear view mirror. And if you watched the Dead on Dave 2016 year in review spectacular for wrestling this year, you know it was quite a mixed bag in the industry. Now, that's not to say that 2017 doesn't have a hell of a lot of luster about it, because it could go very well, and it indeed could go even better for WWE. There's so much talent and everything that's going on within that company that it feels like there's a boiling point that's ready to just explode all over our face, neck, and chest, and I can't wait for it. The only question is, will they get out of their own way and be able to capitalize on it? So that's what we're going to focus on today, kids. For 2017, I'm going to give you 5 things that I fully expect to happen. Oh, let's start with an easy one, okay? Easy one. Let's get off to an easy start. I think I got the perfect thing. Kurt Angle returning to WWE. The writing seems on the wall, and if you're an independent promoter, you're telling people that Kurt Angle's telling you that he has a WWE return date for 2017. So this one looks to be an obvious one, very easily to happen. Look, and it makes a lot of sense. Personally, do I think that there's a whole hell of a lot that Kurt can give with his body? No, I don't. But that's me. That's my opinion. That's something I have to, talk to Kurt with. And I'm sure he's dying to talk with me about it. So, it is what it is there. But the fact is, he's still a draw. People want to see him. The WWE certainly could use a short-time boost from a name like Kurt Angle. There are some very interesting matchups that they could put together that I know I want to see. I just don't know if his body is going to be up to it. Now, he has had some time to rest, so who knows how healthy and how long he's going to be able to go at a top level. Only time will tell. Kurt Angle is a fantastic athlete, so you just don't know. It's going to be very, very interesting. And we do know this. More than likely, WWE will do a very good job of protecting him in the ring. And I don't know, not allowing him to do moonsaults off the top of 15-foot cages. Who am I? I'm not an expert. All right. So that was my easy one. I thought that was the easy one. And we got another one that also is a common sense, possibly easy one, but it's really been one for the last 3 or 4 years, but it's really yet to happen. But I got a feeling 2017 is going to be the year where we're going to see this man, John Cena, become at least a 16-time world champion and tying Ric Flair's record. Well, WWE's version of Ric Flair's record, because Ric has been on record saying very often that he's actually got 20 world title reigns, but the WWE does not acknowledge 4 of them. Woo, 4? Woo, 4? Whoa, interesting. That's weird, huh? But yes, however, for, the most of wrestling fans, 16 is the number, and John Cena has a chance to get that number easily at Royal Rumble. Will he do it? I have no idea, but I'm going to say yes. That's my prediction. John Cena will tie, at the very least, maybe break Ric Flair's record. And let me tell you, that's not a bad thing either. This is not a bad thing. I know some people are like, I'm going to kill myself because John Cena. Reality is, records are meant to be broken, kids. And I am a firm believer of what you put into the company, you certainly, or in the industry, I should say, you should certainly get back. And whether or not you do like John Cena or feel that he's a tensor of wrestling, fact is, there are very few guys in the history of this industry who has given as much as this guy has over the length of a career. Very selfless man in a lot of context. I know. but he buries everybody, even though that's not always 100% true, but it is what it is. The fact that you feel that way is actually kind of a good sign. And it speaks volumes of the career of this man, plain and simple. So yeah, I do think he deserves, he's earned, and he should absolutely and will get Ric Flair's record of 16 world title reigns. From two kind of easy ones to one a little bit more in the gray area. No pun intended. It's darker. It's darker. Again, no pun intended. You'll see exactly where I'm going because we're going to talk about something happening at WrestleMania. And of course, if I'm talking about WrestleMania, I'm talking about The Undertaker. That's right. Or The Undertaker. That's right. The Undertaker, WrestleMania. What's going to happen? Well, I'm going to tell you. My prediction is going to be Undertaker will once again lose at WrestleMania this year for just the second time in his career. The Undertaker is not going to go out as a victor. Not going to happen. He will lose once again at WrestleMania this year in what I am predicting will be his final match, at least for a year. I do see him coming back periodically every now and then, but I do full on believe that there's a good possibility that this could be the last that we see The Undertaker. Now, some signs have kind of been contrary to that. There's a lot of word going around that we could see The Undertaker go for most of this year and, in fact, into next WrestleMania. His physical situation, he's not even medically cleared to return now. Or if he is, it just happened like 2 days ago. So it's hard for me to believe that he's going to be able to stay healthy at now on the wrong side of 50. I just don't see it. So I think with a confluence of situations that will happen between now and WrestleMania, we will see, in fact, The Undertaker retire at WrestleMania on a loss, more than likely to the aforementioned John Cena. That's the match that I think should happen. That's the last thing that Cena really is due to him, I guess, if you want to use that language. You know what I mean? It's the last thing that Cena can take. It's the last thing, the last accolade that Cena truly can be given, because I think by that time he will be a 16-time champion. And unfortunately, this does all kind of mean The Undertaker's got a really good chance at winning the Royal Rumble, which just makes me very, very unhappy, because I just don't think it's the best way to go. Taker doesn't need to win the Royal Rumble. He doesn't. He's The Undertaker. He can just come in and demand a title shot at any time, and nobody's going to bat an eye. That's just who he is. And if Cena has it, it's even more likely that way. But this is WWE, so they want to go big moment in Texas. Undertaker wins the Royal Rumble. Going to piss a lot of people off. I think WWE is not going to be expecting that. He will challenge John Cena, and that also means another bad thing. Cena taking the title off of AJ Styles, which would make me very sad. None of this is what I want to happen, by the way. This is what I think is going to happen. And we'll see if it's done well. I don't know. But that's my Undertaker prediction. But we've got more. Oh, yes, more. We got a really good one because there's been an invasion of WWE over the last year or two. And this year, I think that invasion is going to really explode. It's not an invasion at all. It's just certainly a signing of guys from the deletion zone. Oh, I mean TNA. I'm sorry. My bad. TNA. AJ Styles, Bobby Roode, Samoa Joe, among others. And don't forget, there are a few others guys that are floating around as well, like Austin Aries and Eric Young. All of these guys, I feel, are set to make a huge, huge impact on WWE this year. In fact, I see at least two of these guys having a prominent match at this year's WrestleMania. Those two guys being AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, hopefully with each other. How good would that be? Oh, let's do it now. So that's what I think is going to happen with them. And as great as I think the TNA invasion is going to be with Styles, Bobby Roode, Mr. Glorious himself, Samoa Joe, Eric Young, Austin Aries, and maybe some more Broken Matt Hardy at some point. I don't know. I think so. I do feel they're all going to be outshined some way, somehow, in one form or another. And this is a two-part prediction. This is still just prediction number 3. It's a two-parter because they're going to be outshined by one man. And you guys probably, if you've been watching this channel a while, you know that one man that I'm talking about, of course, is the king of strong style, Shinsuke Nakamura. Look, he's not going to be at WrestleMania more than likely, even though I think he probably should be. The WWE could certainly pull an audible and bring up Shinsuke a little bit sooner than some people are expecting him to be called up. However, there is a good possibility that it could happen. And even if it doesn't, the matchups that are coming Shinsuke's way, both in NXT and somewhere down the line in 2017, it's going to be a big year for the king of strong style. And I think he is going to inject that personality, that life, that charisma, that rock star, just compulsion to watch him and be a part of what he's doing. He's going to inject that back into WWE in a way that we have not seen since guys like The Rock and Stone Cold. I believe in Shinsuke that much. The language barrier doesn't mean anything to me. It's never stopped him in the past. I don't expect it to stop him now. He is amazing at everything that he does. Aside from AJ Styles, I don't think anybody had a better year in 2016 than this man, and I'm expecting his WWE debut to be even bigger. So as great as all those TNA guys and outside people are going to be when they're up there, and some that already are, Shinsuke, I believe, is going to be the true king at the end of 2017. But that's not my only prediction, no. We've got one final big prediction that we're going to make. But before that, I got a bonus prediction. I got a bonus before we get to the final and maybe biggest, boldest prediction of them all. What's that bonus has to do with? The Beast. That's right, Brock Lesnar. That's right, Brock Lesnar, man. My prediction is Brock Lesnar's actually going to kill somebody this year. No, he's not going to kill somebody literally in the ring, but I do fully expect a full-blown return to dominance by Mr. Lesnar. I mean full-blown return to dominance, like things that we saw a couple of years ago when it seemed like nobody could even touch him. I expect that early in 2017, very early, maybe even possibly him being a dark horse candidate to win the Royal Rumble. I don't see it happening, but it wouldn't surprise me. There's a lot of reasons, because if you want to go back to a real scary dominant force, something that needs to be overcome by possibly a guy like Shinsuke Nakamura, Brock Lesnar is the guy to do it. Now he has something to prove, and if they go with that angle that they started with Paul Heyman a few weeks back, this could be a scary year for the Beast incarnate, and thus all of WWE. Money-wise, it might be the best way to go, too. He's still one of the biggest names in all of sports, so why not capitalize on it in, I think, his last year of his contract? It all seems to line up for a perfect situation in 2018 to really put someone over and make them that true superstar that I believe should go to Shinsuke Nakamura. We'll see if it happens. That's my bonus prediction, but we got one more. And I think it might be the boldest of all. Nobody's going to even agree with this. I'm going to say something so outlandish, so crazy, that you'll think I have brain damage, and I just very well might, because I believe in 2017, the Repo Man will return. No, I'm kidding. No, I think Roman Reigns will not win a world title this year. That's my big prediction of 2017. Look, this is the easiest and quickest prediction that could be lost this year, because he's actually very likely to win the title, the Raw title, Universal Championship, at Royal Rumble in just like 2 weeks. However, I do think that there's a really good chance that WWE holds off on him. His reactions are lightening up. Now, granted, they're getting a little bit more buoyer now that he's back in the title hunt. But the fact of the matter is, and I'm hoping WWE is finally starting to realize that Roman needs to build the mid-card, not only for himself, but for a very shockingly uninspiring rest of the Raw roster. There's nobody on there that's as deep as it is, as talented as it is. There's only a couple guys that seem to be getting the highlight, and maybe that's by design. But at the same time, there are some guys that easily could be in the mix in the mid-card that could be battling with Roman Reigns and could be huge in for numbers and for excitement. And there's an obvious guy, Braun Strowman. He's the perfect feud for Roman Reigns right now. You're going to get the sympathy because Braun is so dominant and so disgustingly scary. And he is the perfect WrestleMania opponent for Roman and that United States Championship. Yes, that he's still holding. He's still holding the U.S. belt. So why not go with this? It makes all the sense in the world. It seems to be just sitting there waiting for you, begging. It's there. Use it. Don't shy away from it. It's a perfect storyline, and it's something that Roman desperately needs. So why go back to a world title run for this guy this year in all of 2017 when it simply won't work? Spend this year recovering and doing what you should have done in years past, and that's build him properly through the mid-card. Give him feuds in some Cena-esque fashion. Like Braun Strowman for Roman Reigns can essentially be what Big Show was for John Cena. Now, people might say, well, no, that's not good. No, actually, it is very good. You need an insurmountable force to make somebody an irresistible object, and that is exactly what Roman Reigns can become, just like John Cena did at WrestleMania when he took the United States Championship off of the Big Show. If all my brain is still working right, follow that train of thought. Follow that line of thinking. It works, and it can certainly work again. But you've got to keep the title off of him. You got to keep him away from the main title situation. Do I think it's going to happen? Like, honestly, in my heart of hearts, no. I think he might actually win the title at the Royal Rumble. But I'm going to predict that somebody is going to have a stroke of genius and realize that Roman Reigns should not have any world title in 2017. What do you think of that one, kids? In fact, what do you think of all of my predictions, including the bonus? What do you think of them? Do you think they're going to be a go or a no-go? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, hit me up with your predictions. I want to know, give me one prediction each. I want to know what do you think is going to happen? Who's going to be the big star? What's going to take place in WWE this year? That's what I want to know from you guys. Hit me up in the comment section below, or of course on Twitter at DeadOnDaveV. All right, there you go. There you have it. There it is. What do you think of it? Let me know. Thank you guys very much for joining me right here on this very special Wrestling Reportedly, the 2017 WWE preview. My 5 predictions. You got them. They're inside of you. Now go try to take a shower and wash all that stuff off you. You're going to need a long one, or at least 5 or 6, because when copious gets on you, it's hard to wash off. Thank you guys very much for joining me right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Like, subscribe, and share. Over 5,300 subscribers. Man, that sounded a lot like Keemstar. Over 5,300 subscribers. Thank you guys very much for all of that. We're on our way to 6K. Make it happen, Captain. Hit that subscribe button. And as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. Keep it copious, and peace.